So you want to start a YouTube channel and you're starting to think about what camera you need in order to get your YouTube studio up and running and start cranking out some amazing content. But what camera should you buy? What's your budget? We're going to tackle certain questions like that in this video. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Jose from PetRockMedia.com. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button, punching that bell icon, and giving me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Now the question I get quite a few times, and I'm sure you've heard this question or even maybe asked this question yourself, and that is, what camera do I need in order to start my own YouTube channel, start my own YouTube studio, and start cranking out amazing content? Now for quite a few of my most recent videos, I have been using this one. It's the Fujifilm X-T3 with the battery grip, monstrosity of a camera, right? Weighs a good 3 or 4 pounds. Don't quote me on the exact weight, just kind of going off of it. But it's a pretty beastly camera. Right now it's rocking the 10-24, which is a pretty decent lens to video with, as well as vlog with, but this is a pretty big camera and I don't necessarily recommend it for vlogging, but it is an amazing camera. It has great colors, great video features, can shoot in F-Log, can shoot in HLG mode. It has a ton of amazing internal features, as well as can spit out an HDMI signal to a recorder, such as a Ninja 5, Atomos, Shinobi, things like that, and produce great quality. Now this particular set can set you back about $2,400. Depending on if you buy new or used, that money will shift up or down depending on how you buy. Now this is something that's most recent, but what I have been shooting with a lot of my content on is this little bad boy right here. And this is the Sony RX100 Mark V. This is about a 4-year-old camera if I'm not mistaken, and again, don't quote me. But I'm bringing this camera up to show you that a lot of my content has been filmed with this. It has amazing color. It has that Sony color science in it. It has S-Log, it's S-Log 2, but it's still an amazing camera. It has a flip-up screen. Has a pretty decent wide open. It's a 24-70 millimeter f1.8 to f2.8. If you shoot wide open, it's an f1.8. If you move even after that little bit of millimeters, it goes straight into 2.0 and then 2.8. But again, this camera is amazing, and it is more than enough for you to start your YouTube channel and get your content out for everybody to see. Now, some of the pros of this camera over the X-T3 is obviously its size. I mean, this thing is super small compared to my hand, right? Pretty small camera. Fits in your pocket. Obviously, the X-T3 requires you to have a lens. This already has it attached. The X-T3 will require you to bring along pretty much a camera bag, an entire setup, extra batteries, things like that. And it's going to take up quite a bit of space in your camera bag if you travel or if you're moving from place to film. You're going to have to bring along a lot of equipment. Whereas this, you bring along a few batteries. I personally use this little case from Lowepro. Has a few batteries in the front. Has a USB charger because this does charge via USB as well. So you can plug it in right here and charge the battery internally with an external battery as you're going from place to place. Overall, this camera is pretty amazing when it comes to both video and photos, but we're talking about video today. This has some pretty killer features. Now, the cons of this camera over the X-T3 obviously is sensor size, right? APS-C 1-inch sensor, which is pretty small considering this. But again, you have to determine what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your videos. This camera can sit on a tripod, stay on your desk, and the moment you want to film a video, flip it on, put on your mic, and you're good to go. Now, the one negative also about this is that it does not accept external audio, so you're going to have to record via an external recorder and then sync it later in post. Now, another camera that I've been filming with to crank out some content on YouTube is the camera that I'm shooting with right now, and that is the Fujifilm X Pro 2. Now, the X Pro 2 has a very special place in my heart because it reminds me so much of film rangefinder cameras that I shot with back in the day when I was in middle school and high school, some 20 plus years ago. So it holds a very special place in my heart because of the form factor, and that rangefinder is just something that I personally just love to photograph with. But when we're looking at video, Fujifilm has some pretty good color science that they incorporate in a lot of their cameras. And what's good about Fujifilm is that they are not a stranger to providing better features via firmware to make the camera feel almost brand new again. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to upgrade the sensor and things like that. And the X Pro 2 is utilizing an older X-Trans sensor. But the color, as you can see right now, is pretty phenomenal considering this camera used will set you back about $400 or $500. attach the lens that I'm using, which is the Fujifilm 23mm f2, which is the weather sealed lens, you're looking at about $1,000 or less to get cranking out some great content. You slap on a Rode Video Micro, which retails for about $60 new. You could probably find it used for about $20 to $30. Get yourself a miniature tripod. And I'm gonna throw all these links down below. And you're looking at a pretty killer video powerhouse to get your YouTube studio up and running. So now that we've looked at all these different cameras, the real question that you wanna ask yourself is, what's your budget? What are you trying to film? Are you trying to stay in a studio? Do you have a room that you're going to set up and never leave and crank out all your content in that room? Then maybe a larger camera, if you have the budget for, is something that you can just leave, set it and forget it, so to speak. If you're more of a mobile vlogger, so to speak, and create a lot of your content outdoors, and you don't want to lug around a bunch of camera equipment, then perhaps the RX100 Mark V, 6, 7. I personally like the Mark V because of the lens and the aperture, the f1.8, and it has still pretty killer science and pretty killer lens attached to it. This brand new goes for about $700 if I'm not mistaken, so you can find a pretty decent value used if you're looking on the used market. Or my personal favorite that I really enjoy shooting with and filming with is the X Pro 2 from Fujifilm. So ask yourself, what are you trying to accomplish? What type of studio do you plan on creating? And then see what kind of budget you have and review all the different color science that all these cameras have. Look at the skin tones, look at the replication of different colors and shadows, and just make that decision. I'm a Fujifilm user. I have been for quite a while, coming over from Canon, and I absolutely love the color science that's baked into these Fujifilm cameras. But that about wraps it up, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video showing you that it doesn't matter the camera necessarily. It matters the content. It matters the audio. A lot of times people will forgive a little bit more choppy video if the audio was clear. So keep that in mind. Invest in what you believe is going to be the best tool for the job, because at the very end, a camera is just that. It's a tool that helps you create your content. You yourself is what's going to get your content out there. Put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort, and I guarantee you, you will grow here on YouTube. But that about wraps it up, everybody. Thank you for stopping on by. Again, if you're brand new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and punching that bell icon, and be the cool person that gives me a thumbs up or 2 thumbs down. This is Jose signing out from PetRockMedia.com. Peace.